I think that probably plays a part in it. Obviously, we've met before because we were on a panel about neurodiversity, so it's something I'm very passionate about talking about because through workplace design, I kind of was like exploring neurodiversity and I was like, oh, this is suspicious. So I went and had an autism assessment and I am autistic and I was like, oh, there we go. But it came from my work. Without my work, I would never have taken that avenue. So it was a big thing for me to kind of go down that path. And now when I'm designing, I'm so conscious about that and how different people experience spaces, and it's really kind of fed into my work. So I think that's played quite a big part of it as well.
And do you know how you got the award? Like any?
No, I think that the powers that be nominating me, yeah. And then I got the message. So yeah, I can say like I get to work on like so many different stages of projects. So I do quite a lot of creative pictures, which is really fun because that's just like that's bit, isn't it? Go wild, go nuts, be completely creative, but then you also get to work on sort of stage 2, the stage 3 is where it's a bit more technical, or doing a lot of like 3D modeling, or more like specking everything. No, not really. Well, I did do, my undergrad was in architecture, so I did come from more of a technical.
Oh, a bit then.
They're not, I've really enjoyed the more creative side of things. It's where I really like to be. But yeah.
Oh, nice. And so they've only worked on any specific projects that kind of, well, like bombastic wow ones that.
It's hard. A lot of the pictures that I've done, I've really like them wow, because that's when you could like, you don't know the budget, so you just go like hotel ones that are really fun to do, and then indie hotel.
We've started getting into it, yeah.
It's a whole nother.
It's fun, isn't it? Because the briefs are a little bit more, like obviously this is the basis of a hotel, but the briefs tend to be a bit more open.
Yeah.
And we started doing a lot more. So we have a side part of the business called Designer's Touch, which is all about like the decorative elements from like the crockery to what wall art you have. And that's really fun.
That's where I come in.
And like the specking is sometimes just like, you're just shopping really, aren't you?
Yeah, it's one we've done. When you start like, specking like cutlery and stuff, what's going on? Yeah, there's just one really cool project we did, which is like more of a workplacey one, it was actually going in Germany, and it was sort of a really cool like concrete building. It was like trying to keep that kind of architecture of it, but it was like all these amazing atrium spaces, and this building was going to be like offices, it was going to be flats, it was going to like a lounge, it was going to have everything in it basically. So that was a really cool one to be on.
Did you just go to Germany?
No, maybe next time.
No, missed.
Maybe.
Let's get the next one in LA. Then you go to it.
You've all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but they are in America.
Yeah.
Have you been to America?
Not yet, but yeah, the offices, set up. He's really cool.
Like, I'm in Palm person now.
Is there a HR team that we could send a link to of the recording? Oh, that's nice. Good. And how are you going to change the world, Sarah? What are you going to do? Like, what's your?
This feels like those pageants, you know, and they're like, what would you do? And they're like, world peace, you know, the pageant.
I'll start with world peace.
Yeah, and then what we'll go on to. No, but I always think like younger designers that come up, they haven't got tainted. It's probably the right word. Like, because like you've been in the industry for a long time, you start to do the norm. Right, it's just it, isn't it? You do, like you've seen this, you've done it, it works, and no disrespect, there's wicked designs out there, but I feel like when you're just coming into the workforce in your kind of first 5 years, you're not kind of following any kind of rules because you're still
burnt yet.
Nah, not being burnt yet.
So I think for me, it might sound really obvious, but kind of the sustainability aspect of things, I think is so important. And I think trying not to see it as like that tick box and try to see it as like starting before you start designing, like look at it from day dot and how you carry it through, I think is so important, because I don't think we really got a choice anymore, which is quite a negative topic, but I think it's so important, and there's so many ways we can weave it in into the design. That's just like through materials, or like how many finishes you're actually putting into a project, and how you can still try to have like kind of layered and homely and that design, which obviously we do quite like a sensory design, how you can still have all that, but with the environment in mind, and how you can, I don't know what the word is, kind of push that ethos without packing a room full of like carbon heavy kind of products, which I think is really important.
Really mindful, really.
Yeah, really like quite selective about that, I think is really important.
I do find the Jolie designs, have you ever seen them?
I have, they look lovely.
So dreamy.
They are.
So dreamy.
their son to work or
So calm.
yeah, I think that's what's really great about working at Jolie is kind of that you start off with how you want to feel in space, and so then you'll do sort of, and then from the words you get, if you want to be calm, energetic, lively, joyful, however you want to feel in the space, and then from that you kind of derive the color palette, and so kind of go into the color psychology. Then you layer in kind of what fragrances kind of also help you feel that way, which is something I find really, really interesting. So then when we do our presentations, we'll do we'll have the color theory, the color palette. We'll have a song, like a soundtrack for each space to kind of
I
get you in
love
the
that.
next. And then we'll have little like scent samples that we pass around to try and give that whole like Jolie effects and give that whole vibe of how, if you take like the idea the whole way, how successful it can be and how it can really make your space come alive.
Yeah, I think it's so important as well because, like, I was at a talk not long ago. It was that Kay Sargent. I don't know if you know she's from Hock, and she was talking about how science fiction got so many things right. One of the things they got wrong was the interpretation of women. Was one thing, but one thing they got really wrong is, although technology has advanced so much, even a lot of sci-fi, you see it's all very cold and very clinical and very like masculine. And what we actually find is that because we've advanced technology so much, we've distanced ourselves from the human so much that people want designs that are going to bring them back, which is where all of this sensory experience is so important because we've distanced ourselves so far from each other through technology that now it's like, how do we bring everyone back in? And, it's that texture and, what you're smelling, what you're seeing. It's just so important.
I don't know if it's because technology is such like a prevalent part. I think now you're noticing it more, the people kind of really coming back for that. They want that layer, they want that wall.
And it's not saying we're saying no to technology. The technology's still there. It's just what's around it. It's like we don't need to be cold and clinical. We can have something that feels nice and cozy.
Yeah.
People get scared to say cozy, especially in a workplace setting. I'm like, why should it not feel cozy? What's wrong with
I
that?
feel at home.
You know that saying, you're like the people that you spend the most time with. Like, I always think it applies to spaces as well.